Hello and welcome to the 6th round of the American Touring Championship of Season 3. This is races 11 and 12 of the championship, on to round 6 already. Alongside me tonight again I have Bjorn de Haas.
Hello everybody, good evening, good morning, good to be here again.
Good to have you here again, Bjorn. And you can see the points table in front of us, and for the first time this season Keith Barrick is not topping the table. As you can see, Francisco Villar is topping the table, just 2 points ahead of the DHR Simcraft driver. This is after the correcting standings. Francisco Villar is dropping worse points than Barrick is so far, but it's very close indeed. In third place we have Jesper Tarborg, who really has no room for error, because he is dropping a DNF and a 13th at the moment, so he's going to have to be consistent until the end of the season. There's 6 races left. There's 2 rounds here at Rattlesnake Point, 2 at Laguna Seca, and 2 more at the final round at Bathurst. In 4th place is Yuri Braham. Moving up to 5th place is Miguel Neto ahead of Saul Boucher. 7th place is still Vincent Kahn. Eric Nelson and Tyler Skolak having a good battle in the championship in the inter-team battle, 8th and 9th. Swiderski moved up to 10th from 12th from the last race. Sahlborg moved well up the table after his strong showing at Sebring. Danny Asbury moved up from 19th in the table. Mattis Clean has dropped down. Hugo Gonçalves, Reggie Blaine, Daniel Wood, and Karen Midara, Andrei Bogdan has moved into the top 20 for the first time this season, bumping Stefan Werner just out of the top 20. And the top 20 is rounded out by Lopez, Gardner and Isles. Bjorn, we have some unpredictable weather for this race at Rattlesnake Point. How do you see the form at the moment?
To be honest, there's nothing we can say yet. It can be raining, it can be dry, it can be dry rain. I think we can expect some showers, we can expect a bit of sunshine. I think it's going to be really challenging, the weather. It's going to be really, you need your tactics right this race.
Absolutely. The track is a little bit damp at the moment. It's just drizzling with fine rain. And as you can see, the top 3 contenders in the championship on the top 3 positions in practice. I mean, Keith has had a very consistent season so far, hasn't he, Bjorn, with 9 top 5s out of his 10 races, but it's the wins that Francisco Villar just keeps on racking up that is keeping him ahead of Barrick.
Yeah.
Barrick has won just 1 race this season, despite those 9 top 5s, whereas Villar has finished on top step of the podium 4 times, and has had 8 podiums. Every time he's gone to the podium, he has finished in first position. And of course, he's been the second race master generally, but he did win the first race at Sebring this time around, with the second race win going to Darius Swiderski.
I think usually I would say the man who wins the championship is usually the man who ends up top 5, top 4 in every race. But Francisco does it the other way around. He just makes sure he wins every race, and that's pretty awesome, I would say.
Yeah, I mean he's had every road course so far. He's had a win at that event, so that's obviously showing his very strong pace, especially in obviously in the race 2, because he can rely on the rear-wheel drive of the BMW off the start, and that helps him along. And of course, that BMW is very strong on the straight, so it's quite difficult to actually pass once he's out ahead. And once he is out ahead, VR, he just seems to be impregnable. He's metronomic, can't get past him.
Yeah,
seems to just pull away from the pack.
Really quick driver.
Very quick indeed. As we're watching Keith Barrick now, he's in the Peugeot 407 for this race, as usual. Jesper Tarborg is on the fast lap at the moment. Let's check up with him. He is just going around the back of the circuit now, the technical sections around the fountain. Heading now once more down towards the final part of the circuit, which begins to go faster once again. What do you think of this circuit, Bjorn? Is it one of your favourite circuits?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, as you already know, I'm a big fan of the American-Canadian courses already. I mean, they all stole my heart. This is one of those tracks again. Technical, quick, challenging. I mean, it's all there. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not the I can see its appeals, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. But it's okay. Of course, it is a fictional track, and you reckon they should make it in real life, don't you, Bjorn?
Yeah, I think I already just mentioned that with you this afternoon. I think if Herman Tilke, and I hope he's listening, Herman, if you build a track,
Herman.
if you build a track, build this one, because this is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion.
It is a good track. Plenty of run-off opportunities as well, so we should see plenty of side-by-side racing. As you see, Bogdan just pop up there into 6th position. We might try and get a word with Bogdan before the qualifying starts. Miguel Nato is on a fast lap as well, as Talbog just spins it coming across the line, just for the fun of it. There is Miguel Nato. He's the teammate to Francisco Villar, of course, throughout this season. Nato has shown good pace, hasn't he, Bjorn? But he's been very inconsistent, involved in plenty of tangles.
Yeah, a lot of tangles. I mean, he has traded some pain during this season quite a lot, and I hope he can stay out of trouble and just set a good race result without hitting anybody, you know.
Yeah, he's got himself in plenty of scrapes. He has taken one win. That was at Watkins Glen. He just needs to add a bit of consistency to that. That speed that he's got. So we have 6 minutes until qualifying, which is Super Bowl qualifying once again, of course. The weather seems to have dried out a little bit. So it's we had a light drizzle and now it's dried out, so seeing what people can do. The weather at this track can be quite unpredictable, so it's a very big track as well. So we'll see what it has to offer through qualifying and the race. Checking with Danny Asbury, he's had a very strong result. Had a strong run at Watkins Glen and had a strong result again at Sebring, so we're looking for him to move on up.
And sorry to break you up, but we have a drive from Mr. C in the commentary booth. Hello, Mr. C.
Hello everyone.
Hi, good to have you here, mate. Well, but we basically all know you're gonna leave us here at RD, and we feel very, very sad to hear that. We would like to ask you a few questions. How did you like it here so far?
Oh, Nordi, I love it. Intense racing, and in 1 year I really improved my skill in driving. It's a really big community and everyone helping each other. It's really great.
Yeah, it's one big family.
Yeah.
The ATCC championship so far, sorry, you like it? How is your experience with the ATCC?
I like it very much, but I'm a bit disappointed in me, because in the pre-quali I didn't give enough attention to the pre-quali and I got in server 2. I think I was fast enough for server 1, but my misjudgment got me server 2, so about 3 races I did in server 2, and now in server 1 I'm trying to keep up the pace with the big boys, just struggling a little bit.
Yeah. I know that feeling about keeping up with the pace. What has been your best experience here at RD? Not just ATCC, but the whole best experience. Can you name me a race event that's something close to your heart?
Best experience, I love endurance races, and I did Le Mans with the Viper and the GT Pro, and I was racing all 750 kilometers with Joe and yes, right one side and another. Really close fight, and finally I got second place. A bit disappointed, but really happy. That's the coolest experience that I loved. But the best achievement is the podium in ATCC.
Yeah, that was like 2 races ago. Very good.
Yeah.
There was, we all fight each other on track. but we also have fun, and I mean everybody basically respects each other here at RD. But who is your favorite RD driver, competitor, nemesis, just name it?
Tough to tell. My competitor that I like to fight is Mr. Dan Allison, but the driver I like most, and the driver I think is the most complete in the series that I like, it's Jasper. I just love the way he drives. Every corner, it's perfect on him.
Yeah, exactly. I can definitely agree with you on that one. Well, Mr. C, it's great to have you here. We definitely hope to see you more often here at RD. Maybe on the forums, maybe in a race.
I will always be here, even though I will take a little break. I don't know, half a year, but I'll still be in the forum. I will only take a break from the racing.
We would love to see you here at RD. You're always welcome. Okay, have a good one, Mr. C, and we expect you in the top 10.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bogdan. See you later.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you for that, Bjorn. And we are now following Karen Madaru's idol, Jesper Tolborg. I'm sure he'll be pleased to hear that. He has an admirer.
He has.
Jesper is in second place in qualifying so far. Matt is clean. He's shown a good turn of speed, look. In third position in his Peugeot Honda Accord, sorry. Oh, he's in Peugeot 407. Oh, he's in a Honda Accord. Sort it out. It's early in the morning. In the Bonaccord Ultimate team. There he is. He's showing some good pace. There's Jesper Tolborg about to cross the line. He's on a decent lap, 39.462. That was a decent time. That's his best time so far. Swiderski again is showing pace, so it's a very competitive field. Just moments ago Nato was in third, now he's back to sixth.
Matthias looks strong, Ryan, and
He
in
does
third
indeed.
place at this moment.
So, we're going to qualifying in 30 seconds, Bjorn. Who is your pick for pole position?
Well, Ryan, I don't know, to be honest. I think I would say either Francisco or Jesper if you look at the times now, but I'm just going to say Keith Barrick. And you?
I'm going to go with Francisco VR. But we shall see. It may turn out that the weather plays a part. We just don't know.
Exactly. Rain showers. We don't know what's going to happen. Can it be Donington Park 93 revisited? It can be anything.
Well, Keith Barrick fancies himself as Ayrton Senna, so we'll see what happens there, shall we?
Well, that's one big name. That's one big name. It's really dangerous to compare yourself to the great Ayrton.
I'm just kidding. He doesn't really. He compares himself to Alec Young. Yes, that's who he compares himself to.
Definitely, I think that's more
Saka
appropriate.
Yamamoto. Okay, we are now into qualifying. There's 15 minutes this time around because it's a bit of a longer track. Usually 10 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Let's see who's going out early on. Any of the front runners? Yes, Tarborg is trying to get his lap in right now. So we'll follow along with him, shall we? Mr. Bogdan's favourite driver. Very, very quick first series of turns. Over a crest, trying not to hit the curb too hard on the outside and then run down towards this track here. Now, you like this track, Bjorn. Why don't you talk us around this lap?
I'll try to do that. I haven't got my cup of coffee yet, so I'll do my best. This is one of the long straights. There are a few long straights. This one probably builds up to the old hairpin. It's sort of a stadium section. When I drive here, I always feel like I'm in sort of a baseball stadium or football pitch. Exiting the corner again, going again to the long straight, building up speed.
Another fast section.
It's all fast, but the one corner is gonna get here now. It's you really need your braking right in there, but you can really overshoot it. You really have to get your braking right here. Exiting the corner again, going to a slower bit of the track. Left-hander here, another left-hander. Usually second gear, third gear coming out. Another small straight, building up to a corner again that goes right.
Small straight?
Yeah, well, compared to the other straights, this is pretty
true.
small, Ryan. Again, a right-hander.
Yeah, I've seen it
the inside here.
Yeah, I've seen that corner you can very easily roll it. I've seen a few there. You clip the inside curve a bit too hard.
I did it myself a few times indeed. Two slow left-handers, second gear, third gear getting out. And then we're gonna have the twisty part. Left-hander, right-handers, and the last left-hander is a real tricky one. You can easily go really wide with this one.
You can, yeah, you can go flat out through there, but if you get the lines wrong, you're in the grass in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, you need to line good as well. The braking point here you need good as well, because after this there is a long straight, so you really need this corner done properly.
Absolutely, so as Bjorn says, you just keep the speed up all around the lap, and Jesper is about to start his lap as he crosses the start finish line and starts the clock. In down towards turn 1, which is a very, very fast left-hander. Tries not to hit the curb too hard on the outside, runs it out wide, gets it into the uphill braking zone for this bit here. Clips the curve on the inside, that's beautiful. Clips the curve on the outside, now heads down towards these two right-handers. Keep the car to the inside. Keep nice and straight so we can get the nicest run out of this corner, up the hill. Making sure that the gears are nicely done for that hill, otherwise you lose lots of time dragging up there along the straight. As we were saying, it feels like a baseball stadium, flying down here into the hairpin, braking very hard indeed from 150 miles an hour down to around about 70 k's, and then shoot it back out again. Another flat out section. It sweeps along. Now heading down towards the most technical section of the track. As Bjorn was saying, this is around the fountain area, braking for this right-hander. Get it turned in and around, and then into the two long left-handers. Very, very easy to run wide on the second bit here. Missed the apex. It looks like Jesper did that a little bit actually. And as he heads now down towards the final part of the circuit, this is the final sector. Braking very hard indeed. Into this corner here, it's off camber, very, very easy to run wide or very easy to hit the inside curve, so it's quite a tricky corner. It needs to be done correctly. Now into these two left-handers once again, just like before, quite technical. Get it into the camber there, into the camber on the next bit. Try not to run out too wide because you lose the camber, then into the camber once again, so it's very crucial to keep yourself in the camber all the way around. And as Bjorn was saying, this bit is flat out, but you do need to get the line absolutely right, else you will be across in the weeds. Try not to scrub off too much speed, run out wide. Heading now down towards the final corner, braking as late as you dare, without compromising the exit of course. And Jesper heads now back up the hill, and Vincent Kahn has popped up with a 239.869 to set the pace so far. Jesper Torborg is about to cross the line. What can he do? He's on a 239.154, so he goes in pole position. Third has gone Clean. Oh no, pole position has gone to Keith Barrick. There he is. He's just nipped in there by half a tenth of a second there, Bjorn. So
great time, and it looks like I'm going to be right with Keith Barrick on pole position. Well,
VR has not done his lap yet. He's 6/10 up.
Yeah, that's
Look
right.
at this, 6/10 of a second up in the second sector. If he just keeps it together, he will take pole position, and I will be proved right, Bjorn.
I will take my words back then, my friend, and I will buy you a cup of coffee.
Be much appreciated. I'm quite tired, to be fair now. But now here we come with VR. He's heading round the flat out section at the back of the circuit. Just needs to keep it all together. Gonsalves comes up there in 6th position. That's a good effort there from him. So we've got Barrick and Torborg, but VR looks like he's going to take pole position. We're going to make it a 1, 2, 3 for the championship contenders at the top of the grid. Yuri Braham pops up in 5th. That's a good lap time. He's in 4th in the championship. He's still in the hunt, but there goes for VR. 3/10 in the end, so he takes provisional pole position at the moment. Ethan Bass has joined us in the race, as we're missing one of the drivers. Not quite sure who that is, but Ethan's moved up from Server 2 for this race.
I think we miss Michael van Scheppingen. Yeah, I'm pretty confident we miss Michael van Scheppingen.
Michael, of course, unable to race here today then. Missed the last race as well. Reece Gardner is on his lap. It's getting dark, Bjorn, look at that. The rain has started, look at that, Bjorn.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not in the lap yet, you're basically gone. You need to be on track now.
It's
You need
absolutely
to be,
pouring down, look at that, Bjorn. Absolutely pouring down.
Reece is in trouble. I mean, Reece went out on the wrong time. He is in trouble, and he's just going to start at the back, if I look at it now.
Well, if he just gets it together as quickly as possible, so that he gets... Because the track isn't too damp at the moment. He just finished the lap, he shouldn't be too bad. Oh, it's getting wetter and wetter though. The downpour's absolutely started. He's going to run away, he's going to the grass, he's going to crash, he's crashed into the barrier. That's a big hit.
A very big hit.
And that's ruined any chances he's had of a good grid position, and he's gone straight. That was a big crash there, Bjorn.
Oh yeah, his car is gone. He's got to start from the back. That's one thing for sure. It seems to be really wet. It seems to be really slippery. Yeah.
The heavens just opened on him there, halfway around his lap. The poor guy. And he brings it round now. At least he managed to finish the lap.
How do you usually approach qualifiers like these? I mean, with a big chance of rain or in the
if you think it might be changeable weather and it's dry at the start of the session, just go out straight away. Get out of the way as fast as you can. That's always been my philosophy. And Darius Swiderski's on his lap as well now. He's going to start towards the back of the grid because he will be... I don't know whether he's gone out on... He must have gone out on slick tyres, because when he went out on his hot lap, on his out lap, I think that was... it was dry at the time when he set off. Who's joined us in the broadcast? Hello, Keith.
Hey, Ryan. Quite the curveball in qualifying.
The heavens just opened, dude. You know, it can happen at those big tracks.
Oh, definitely.
Canadian weatherfall, huh?
Oh, no kidding. I just feel poor. I feel really bad for the guys who waited a little in the qualifying session, but the guys who got out on the dry really lucked out. But I guess we'll see what you have in store for us in a little bit, won't we, Ryan?
We will indeed.
That's the danger. I had the opposite last week during a Camaro race, the Camaro Cup, also here live at Race Department broadcasted. I had the same with quali. It started off really wet and everybody just stayed inside until the last 4 or 5 minutes, and just bang, everybody hit the track to do the qualify lap. So that was the other way around than here.
Well, you've got to say that if you think that whether it be changeable at all and it's dry at the start of the session, just go out as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
I was just saying.
I just wanted to come and thank you for the curveball. No, well, I'll get back to the race booth and hear what all the drivers are saying, including Eric and Reese and Darius. Poor guys.
Tell Reese that we did get his crash live, by the way.
Okay, I'll let him know. Thanks, guys.
See you later, Keith. There is Keith there. He's on second on the grid at the moment, and second in the championship. The grid actually reflects the championship at the moment with the top three.
And if you look at fourth place, the last 3 events, then Danny Asbury has had a upwards line, and once again he's in 4th place.
Absolutely. He's showing real pace. As Swiderski's going to cross the line, he's going to be way down the field, of course, because he's had to go in this wet conditions. Talis Gerlach has yet to set a lap time. I'm not sure he's going to. No, he won't have time to set a lap time now. And Ethan Bass is on track as well. I think he will have put wets on because he went out. He was still in the pits when it was raining, so it'll be interesting to see what Ethan can do on the wets. Oh, he's gone straight on at the hairpin. So obviously still struggling in these wet conditions.
But I think, to be fair, if you have slicks or wet weather tires, you're going to be slow anyway. You're going to be like 10 seconds off the pace anyway, depending tires.
Well, I think Swiderski was on slick tyres for that run, and he was 12 seconds off the pace. So I would guess you could take off perhaps 5 seconds if you run well on the wet tyres. So, but it just rained halfway through Reece Gardner's lap. The poor guy just timed his run just a minute too late, and obviously paid the penalty for it.
There's one thing we don't know.
Those are the brakes.
Yeah. I mean, we are not the Formula 1 teams with 10-man employees working on the weather.
And Ethan gets it all wrong into the final sector. Well, exactly, and even with the Formula 1 teams, they still get the weather wrong, so very difficult indeed for these guys. We'll see what the races have to offer, and Ethan's off again. He's just going to have to struggle around this lap, getting himself on the grid. But with 1 minute to go in qualifying, the grid has been set with Via on pole, so many congratulations to him. He followed up his pole position from Sebring. Barrickin is in second. Jesper Torborg is in third. Dan Asbury is in fourth as Ethan Bass glides off the track once again. Obviously not liking these conditions. Oh, hits the barrier hard as well. And NATO is in fifth. Yuri Braham is in fourth in the championship and needs a good result to catch up to the top three. It is in sixth. Vincent Kahn seventh. Hugo Gonçalves is in eighth. That's an excellent lap time there from him, Bjorn.
Yep. Hugo is there as well with the other Portuguese driver, so looking forward to see him in the race at the front, just to fight, have some good fights with the rest of the guys.
Absolutely, and Matthias Klein is in ninth. He showed good pace in practice, so we'll look out for him during the race. As Ethan Bass crosses the line and is in 24th position on the grid. Sol Boucher is in 11th. In 12th place is Emil Solborg for Worth of Blue Racing in his Peugeot. 13th is Robert Isles. He's the best of the TAR guys, with his teammate Daniel Wood in 15th. Pedro Amaral is filling in between them in 14th, with Stefan Werner for TrackDevil.com Racing in 16th position. He's actually the best of the Track Devil drivers because he was the only one of their team not to get caught out by the weather.
We also see two top drivers at the back of the field. 21st, Eric Nelson, Darius Swiderski, 22nd. Definitely two guys who picked the wrong moment for their qualify. So we will see them at the back, and we probably see them forwards during the race.
Yeah, hopefully they can move forward. We seem to jinx our interviewees, Bjorn, because Reggie, when we interviewed him at Watkins Glen, he ended up not finishing one of the races. And Mr. Bogdan is way down the grid. So I think we should stop interviewing people.
I think we are, yeah.
We are a jinx.
I think we are pretty dangerous. I think we overwhelm them. When we interview them, we overwhelm them. That's probably it.
So here we are now in warm-up. It's still raining hard, as we can see. As to be expected, it's carried over from qualifying. The drivers go out to practice their pit stops and make some last-minute changes, perhaps, in light of the conditions. As you really through the grid and the teams. Bit of lightning there as well. The track is very wet indeed, Bjorn. I don't know if you can see the conditions at the moment, but it is very wet indeed.
Well, I can see the conditions from a little distance. I'm just sitting here behind my coffee in the commentary box with a big window, so I can see it outside. Reminds me of home, this weather. Reminds me of Holland and England, this weather. It's typical weather. Huh?
It says, yeah, it is raining very hard indeed, as the viewers can see. Spray pluming off the back of the cars. The rain really is absolutely pouring down. The guys are getting plenty of action in to see what kind of grip there is. There is Mr. C at the back of this group in the blue Honda with his lights on. So we've got Portugal Racing Team in first position, DHR in second, Synaptic third, Bonaccord in fourth, and then Portugal Racing Team there in fifth again, and FDR in sixth position, Flying Dutchman Racing. Seventh is DHR, and in eighth is the Auto Racing Team of Vico Gonçalves.
We see Ethan Bass in Server 1. What are you expecting from Ethan, Ryan?
He showed some good pace in spurts on Server 2, so if he just keeps his nose clean, keeps out of trouble, he should be able to move up his way up into the top 15.
Should be good to see him there.
Yeah, I've seen no reason why not.
Especially with this weather, I mean, it's anything can happen.
Exactly.
Anything can happen. You need your strategy. Yeah, you need your strategy right. You also need to take risks. What are you going to do? You see the clouds coming. You see the sunshine coming. What are you going to do? You're going to take dry tires. You're going to take wet tires. You know.
Absolutely, and obviously, making one less pit stop is going to make all the difference. If you can time your pit stop in case the conditions change.
Definitely reminds me of last race. I actually drove myself with the Camaro Cup. Rain, dry. It was typical same conditions, and basically every driver there was just, what am I going to do? Which tactics? Which strategy? A lot of thinking, a lot of calculating, a lot of pre-race preparations.
Absolutely, you really have to think on your feet, be flexible. These guys really do see themselves as top drivers in this championship, then they're going to have to show some racing nous. And of course it all can come down to quite a bit of luck as well.
With half a minute to go, warm-up is nearly finished. Drivers be getting ready to go to the grid in half a minute.
Absolutely. So, predictions for the race there, Bjorn?
I was just going to ask you the same question. What will we see in turn 1? Predictions of the first race. Keith Barrick first, Villa second, Jesper third. And you?
It's not very creative. I'm going to go with, let me see. I'm going to go with Yuri for the win. I don't know, just got a feeling.
Well, Yuri, my teammate, that should be nice. I really hope he can show some quality racing here. Yeah.
Hey, why did you pick your teammate? You got no faith in your teammate?
I need to be, as a commentator, I need to be
Fair enough.
I'm not showing too much respect to my team. I should be neutral.
As you can see, it's still raining hard. So, as we gear up for the formation lap, let me just remind you of the championship standings. VR is leading by 2 points from Keith Barrick. In third position, just behind them, is Jesper Torborg. In fourth place, just a few more points back, is Yuri Braham. Those are the 4 contenders really for the championship. And NATO is in fifth, with Boucher and Khan just in behind, the 2 DHR drivers. But really, realistically, between the 3 at the top of the grid for this race, for the championship, if Yuri does well, as I predicted him to do so, then hopefully he can get himself back into championship hunt.
He needs the points, he needs a good strong finish like last week, second place in the second race. Darius of course winning it, but Yuri needs a good strong position, and with after this 2 more events, if I'm correct, Laguna Seca and Bathurst, the titles challenge is still open.
Absolutely, you're right. I mean, do you see Yuri as a real championship contender, or do you see that he's a little bit too far behind now? Considering as well, he's dropping quite poor point scores at the moment.
He's always there. I mean, always take an account with him. I mean, he's always there, and I mean, he can definitely win today. He can win next race. I think he's a strong contender for the championship, because he was there already after 2-3 races on the leaderboard. So I mean, he can do it.
Well, we set off on our formation lap. Still raining heavily, as you can see. So now the field is streaming round. It's an excellent sight. All these skins, all these drivers. 25 in all. Of course, the last 2 races at Bathurst are slightly longer, Bjorn. So it will be interesting to see who can handle the longer races. There'll be 40 minutes as opposed to 25 minutes.
It all comes down to concentration. How focused are you? You need to be there on the last few laps.
Absolutely. We're going to tyre wear as well and balance. Of course, Bathurst is not a challenge to be taken lightly.
Yeah, I know you did a few events there yourself with, if I'm correct, the V8 supercar. How did you experience driving on Bathurst?
I did V8 supercar and World Touring Masters in season 1, and I must say I love that track. I'm not very good at it, but I really do appreciate driving it. I have on my computer I have every Bathurst race live since 1979, so I'm a bit of a fetish there for Bathurst 1000s.
Great track. I mean,
it is a great track. I've included it in every single league I've done so far. So it's again in the World Touring Masters in season 2. It's the finale.
It is, yeah.
So
and what the finale is going to be, it deserves to be the finale as well in the racing league, in my opinion.
It does, absolutely. So it's up there with the greats, you know, Le Mans, Spa, Monaco, those sorts of tracks. And we are looking forward to seeing these cars tackle Bathurst, as they once did in the Super Touring form back in the late 1990s. Paul Morris and Rickard Rydell taking the 2 victories there in those races.
Very, very big names, Rickard Rydell, big touring car driver.
Absolutely, he drove with Jim Richards in the Volvo S60 to take the 1998 Super Touring Bathurst win. Paul Morris was in the BMW. along with Craig Baird, who are both big names in Australia.
Common
as a
big
field-
race names.
Yeah, and the field is now streaming round, about to start the race. Dan Asbury once again has qualified very well indeed. A few drivers there with their lights on. Always nice to see. It's quite dark.
In these conditions, it should be mandatory lights on. It's really hard to see your opponent, especially with all the rain pouring down and the bad visibility.
Absolutely, and the spray can make... Oh, there's been a big
Oh, well,
back of the
no,
grid.
big
What's
one.
going on? Swiderski's involved. Ethan Bass. One of... That must be Tyler Skurlock, I think. What on earth is going on there? Swiderski's involved. Ethan Bass. There's Skurlock. What on earth was going on?
What's going to
There's
happen
more.
now?
There's
Oh, another
more.
one.
What's going on here? There is Boucher on the side of the road. Is that Boucher? It
Oh
must
my
be.
god. What's going to happen now? Is it going to be a restart? Is it going to be... What's going to happen now, you think, Ryan?
They just have to get on with the race. They might. They're going to get with the race. Look,
Yeah,
I think
they
they've
are.
already gone. Or are they going to restart? Are they going to do another formation lap? They're going to do another formation lap. So let everyone reline up. But I have no idea what was going on there. Drivers all over the track. As you see, Sol Boucher in the background there, catching back up once again. That was very un-ATCC like there, Bjorn.
Yeah, I think it's all got to do to the weather. Visibility is bad. Just maybe one or two drivers missing their braking point, which is very rare because it's warm-up lap, isn't it? I mean,
Absolutely, they're going so slowly. Very unusual indeed. But these things happen, and drivers are now forming back up once again. Sol Boucher is moving his way back through the field to his rightful position. It all seemed to start off with Ethan Bass and Tyler Skurlock and Darius Swiderski all getting involved at the back, and then further on, once those guys have recovered, saw Sol Boucher just off at the side of the road as well.
yeah, two incidents. Indeed, the first one including Ethan, the second one including Sal. Don't know what happened there. Would love to see the replay later on, and or just talk to the drivers afterwards. What on earth went wrong there?
It would be nice to know, but as it is, we move on. Miguel Nato has turned his lights off. The only driver with his lights on now is Dan Asbury. They do look good with their lights on, actually. It would be nice if everyone had the lights on. So the field streams around once more. As we check out the grid. Sol Boucher has moved back up into his 12th position on the grid. Of course, Ethan Bass, Darius Swiderski and Tyler Skurlock were at the back of the grid anyway. I'm not sure if Reese Gardner was involved, the teammate of Darius Swiderski.
I think he wasn't. I think I saw two blue cars, one of Darius, one of... To be honest, I'm not sure.
We are
yeah.
missing a driver as well, I think. Glenn Peterson has not taken to the grid for this race. There he is.
Was he involved, you think?
I don't think he was, you know. But he has, either way, he has not taken to the grid. So, we have 24 drivers for this race. There is Francisco Villa. On pole position, leading the field round once again. Drivers getting more tension built up now. Over this lap, just want to get the race on with now. Around the final section they come. Hopefully this time we can be clean on the warm-up lap. Of course, this lap counts towards the race length, so the race length effectively has been shortened by 1 lap. So there's just 8 laps to go at the end of this one. So here we are now. The field is streaming round, and there seems to be no incidents this time around. As we watch VR and Barrick side by side as they are in the championship. This will be a no-holds-barred race event as the drivers all start to form up. VR holds and he holds, and they're away. They're away on their first lap of the race, and VR got a great start there. Barrick slots in behind. Tarborg is going to get muscled out of the way by NATO, I believe, as they head now into the first corner. VR leads, Barrick in second. Third is Tarborg. He has managed to fend off the fight of Miguel NATO. That's good driving there from both of them. And Dan Asbury has dropped back now into 6th position, as it seems that Yuri Braham has got past him. Is Yuri Braham going to get past fully? Indeed he is. He makes the move stick. As covers up there, he comes streaming past the camera. All the field there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just like that. And Miguel NATO is all over the back of Jesper Tarborg. Has come now into the hairpin. Decided not to go for the pass there. Up the inside was coming Dan Asbury on Yuri Braham, and there is Vincent Khan involved as well. Dan Asbury's in behind. And there is Matthias Klein. Dan Asbury's gone way back on the grid straight away. He's in 7th position. And the conditions seem to be lightening there, Bjorn.
Yeah, I think we can expect a bit of sunshine, and if the sun is going to shine driving the cars, we expect the track to dry up very quick.
Of course, we spent 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes doing formation laps, so they would have got several laps in by then, normally. So this dry spell has come earlier in the race in terms of lap times than expected. So we'll see what the track has to offer.
But it's only 10 laps this race, so I mean, if they can race the track dry, they will only have maybe 2-3 laps advantage from it.
Absolutely, but it's of course it's a very long track as well, Bjorn, so even though 10 laps doesn't seem very much, it's still 2-minute 40 laps, so that's plenty of time for drivers to make up time.
It is.
So it's going to be crucial to make the right decision when it comes to the pit stops. And Tarborg is all over the back of Barrick, and Barrick is defending into the final corner.
Again, as the last 2 races, we see the same images as last race.
Absolutely. Great driving from these two. Great respect for each other, of course. Very locked together. And they are fighting very hard indeed for this championship. And VR sets the fastest lap, 2:45.040. This is basically the first lap of the race. And into the pits comes one of the Peugeots. That looked like that was Eric Nelson, I think, in the Synaptic Racing Peugeot. It was indeed. Oh no, Pedro Amaral has come to the pits as well. But there they are.
Early pit stops. Do you happen to know the pit stop schedule, the pit stop window, Ryan?
Amaral has missed his pit. Well, it's from now till lap 8, I think. And Amaral missed his pit stall, had to reverse back up and then forward once again. So he's cost himself lots and lots of time. Eric Nelson managed to hit his marks okay, so he's going to head out now back onto the racetrack. I wonder if he's chanced going on dries, considering the fact that he's towards the back of the grid. We are now at the front of the field once again. There is VR, followed by Barrick as they come through. The camera shows you through the railings, through the fast sweeping section. In behind is Jesper Tarborg. The track is still wet, as you can see. It's not raining anymore. The track is drying out. And these three once again proving to be the class of the field. NATO is being pursued by Yuri Braham. There is the Team Portugal driver being pursued by the Flying Dutchman racing driver. And you still see the track is very wet. Look at the spray coming up. And Yuri's pulling out to make a move. Sainz decides against it. But NATO's gone very deep indeed. He's gone almost off the track. Yuri almost takes advantage there. And Yuri's going to take advantage now up into the next corner. No, he's not. Decides to get out of the...
No, he's going to wait. Knowing Yuri as a respected teammate and driver, I know he's going to wait. He's going to put sorry, who we're talking about? He's going to put him under pressure. NATO, thank you. He's going to put him under pressure. He's going to force him into a fault. Definitely. He's not going to take too much risk throwing everything away.
Look at this up front though. Look at this. Sorry to interrupt you, well, Braun.
No problem.
Here we are now. VR, there was 3 wide just for a second there. VR defending on the inside there from Barrick. They get a better run off the corner. What's going to happen here? Will one of them try to pit at the same time, side by side, out of the final corner, flying out towards the finish line?
3 wide.
3 wide.
Whoa.
Oh, look at this. Nose to tail. Can they get it any closer? Fastest lap there from Jesper Torborg. Look at this. Nose to tail. Fastest lap from Vincent Kahn now. He's on form in the DHR Honda. But VR has managed to fend them off somehow. Oh! Barrick gives the back of VR a little tap as he comes through, and now Torborg's at the inside of Barrick. Oh! Barrick just chops him off, makes sure that Torborg has no space to go up the inside there. And this is allowing 4th and 5th place just to get a little look in as they close in behind. As he comes through now, 1, 2, 3. NW, Honda, and Peugeot. And once again, Torborg is looking for a way past Keith Barrick.
Yeah,
Down into the stadium section, as you called it. Barrick is very late on the brakes indeed. That's good driving from Barrick. Managed to defend him off, and VR once again proving extremely difficult to get past once he's out in the lead.
Well, I expected him to be quicker, to be honest. I expected him to just run away from the field as Keith and Jesper were fighting each other.
Well, it's not happened, and Werner, Solborg, Lopez and Gardner, I believe, have pitted. Nelson is further up the field, so I presume they pitted and allowed him up through there. So the top 18 have not pitted so far. I would expect to see some pit stops this time around, though. As we see, the top 3 are covered by just less than a second. NATO and Braham in behind there. There is Vincent Kahn. He's in a fairly lonely 6th place. In 7th place is Matthias Klee, and 8th Dan Asbury. 9th, as we can see, is Sol Boucher. Field is quite spread out once. Unusual to see in this championship. But the top 3 are as close as anything. As close as they've been throughout the season, to be fair, apart from KW Super Speedway. But on a road course, this is the closest the top 3 have been in the championship. And as the championship nears its climax, the 3 drivers who are in contention for the title have come together on track. Five races to go after this race.
I also think if Yuri can get past his rival, he can, and there are enough laps, only 5 to go, you know, and there are enough laps, he can definitely reach this group as well, but he needs to pass.
Well, the top 5 not pitted, the top 6 haven't pitted, 7 into the pits comes Dan Asbury. So, Dan Asbury from 8 is the first of the front runners to make a pit stop. Sorry, Yuri Braham came into the pits then, I didn't notice that. Yuri Braham has come into the pits, so we'll see where he rejoins. And they're all streaming in, look at this. All flying in, all 3 of the Terra Australis racing teammates. Zena Racing there of Karan Badaru. Ethan Bass is in. Looks like one of the BMWs is in as well. It looks like it's with Dursky. And also Hugo Gonçalves.
Lots of work for the mechanics here. Busy in the pit lane. Look at this. Whoa.
The pit lane is very busy indeed. And Yuri Braham is on his way out. And just in behind there is Tyler Skurlock, I believe that is. Yes, he is indeed. So it will all come down to whoever picked 4 tyres or perhaps 2 tyres. Maybe that some drivers picked 4 tyres and therefore had a slower pit stop. There is Eric Nelson. He's really moved up through the field. Look at this. His tyre choice has really paid off, Bjorn, because he qualified way down the field, and now he's right up in behind the Honda of Yuri Braham.
Yeah, I think he took the slicks and just hoped before the race that it was going to be dry and made the right choice.
Well, hopefully he's taking the slicks, because otherwise he's going to be in trouble, because it's drying out the track. Still a little bit of spray, as you can see. He does seem to be searching for a wetter line, which doesn't really work in race, so I don't know whether he's searching for a wetter line or just fiddling with a few controls. But I'm hoping he went with slicks. If he went with wets, then he's going to be in trouble. But we shall soon see. But up front we can see, there is Barrick up the inside of VR. Contact is made, and they almost both go off. I don't know how they managed to both survive that one. But Barrick is trying to get past VR, and VR is so difficult to get out of the lead once he's there. We've seen that once again, and Barrick gets a big slide, and he's through. He's through, and VR now defends from Talborg, and up behind now is coming Miguel Nato. As they go around the final corner, and VR is sliding around the outside, goes Talborg. A great move there from the Honda driver. Are they going to pit this time around? Doesn't seem so. VR is going to pit.
The
so
Portuguese
is NATO.
drivers.
Both the Portuguese drivers are going to pit.
Yeah.
And they're running down the inside of the track to find a little bit more wetness there to keep the tyres cool. But Barrick and Talbot have both stayed out. VR and NATO, as they often do, have team pitted. Khan has pitted. Indeed, he has pitted. So the rest of the field has pitted aside from Talborg and Barrick, so we'll see whether that was the right decision or not. So here is Jesper Talborg, all over the back of Barrick once again. We know with Talborg, he doesn't try to make the move until he's sure he can make it stick, and he's sure he can stay ahead. He's almost pushing Barrick along there as he come down towards the stadium section. And Talborg pulls out. I don't think he was going for the pass. No, he wasn't. But who do you think made the right call here, Bjorn? Do you think Talborg and Barrick for staying out, or do you think that Villa and NATO made the best call, picking one lap early?
I think they put the Portuguese drivers because basically they put themselves out of the fight, while Jesper and Keith are battling now, which is going to cost them precious time. It's as simple as that. And the 2 Portuguese drivers, if they work together, they can get a front. But that is if they work together.
As you see, Skill out there struggling off on the track. We managed to get past Nelson pretty quickly indeed, so I think perhaps Nelson is on wet tyres. We shall soon see. See, just up ahead of these, NATO and VR rejoined. NATO had a faster top though than VR, look at that. NATO joined the pits just in behind VR, but VR has joined behind, and look who's ahead of these guys. Bjorn, you'll be pleased with this, look who's there.
I'm really happy, and Yuri deserves it, and I told you, he has the pace. He is there. Always consider him being there.
Absolutely, and he has gained 2 spots in that pit stop, so hopefully he's made the right tyre choice as well. Seems that he has, because he's keeping pace ahead of these guys. Vincent Khan perhaps only changed 2 tyres because he is way ahead of Yuri Braham, Francisco Villa and Miguel Nato. Look at that, Bjorn. So it will be interesting. And Nato's made a mistake. He's dropped back to 7th position.
Well, okay.
This is what we see from Nato. He just has the pace, but just not got the consistency to make it last for a full race and get the good result that he always deserves, or that his pace warrants, perhaps.
I just got inside information that Yuri Braham might be on slicks. That's 99% confirmed.
So he is then.
Yeah.
But Vincent Khan, he must have only changed 2 tyres. But he doesn't seem to be slowing down in any pace at all, really, does he? Because he has come out the pit stops 7 seconds quicker. And the drivers VR and Braham. That's interesting indeed. We'll see what his gap is to the other drivers as he crosses the line this time around. But Jesper Tarborg and Keith Barrick have pitted, and they're coming out the pits now, and this will be very interesting to see where they come out. And Tarborg has jumped Barrick by a long way. Look at that, by a long way.
There? Yeah,
that's a
I think something went wrong.
That's a couple of seconds jump there, and Vincent Khan goes into the lead. Look at this. Vincent Khan leads, the reigning champion.
Yeah.
Who's had a lackluster season by his standards, and Yuri Braham up into second.
Yes.
And now here comes Francisco Villar. He's into fourth. Barrick's back down to fifth. Sixth position there, we can see Miguel Nato. And off the track has gone Tyler Skurlock at turn one once again. He's obviously enjoying himself out there. Curling his tyres on the grass, perhaps. Mattis Clean has now overtaken him, as has Eric Nelson. But Vincent Khan leads. Look at the big gap he's got.
But yeah, did he already made his pit stop? Because this is sensational.
He has made his pit stop. Look, there's Braham just in behind. But yeah. Vincent Khan, I think, only changed 2 tyres in his pit stop. Perhaps he started on slick tyres at the start. It'll be very interesting to see what's happened here. Oh, but Yuri Braham has taken 2 seconds out of him on the last, over the last half a lap. So I think that Vincent Khan is not on the right tyres.
Yeah, but even then, after 2 more laps to go, it's going to be crucial.
Yeah, 2 laps to go. Oh, he's sliding around though, of course. But Yuri is going to gain on him hand over fist, because those tyres will go off very, very quickly indeed. Once they go, and the grip just goes away quicker and quicker. And here we are now with Yuri Braham. The pursuing pack is sideways through that corner there, and Tarborg is in behind. Francisco Villar is in 4th position. Keith Barrick there is a little bit off the back of this group, but Tarborg is fighting for a way past Yuri Braham. Of course, he will have 2 laps fresher tyres, and 2 laps around here is a long, long way. Where VR will have 1 lap fresher tyres than Braham, so this will be a very interesting battle to the finish. But if they squabble, if they fight for position, if they slow themselves up, Vincent Khan will be laughing all the way to the checkered flag. They need to work together to make sure that they catch the Honda of Vincent Khan. And off wide goes Yuri Braham, and through goes Tarborg. And is VR going to follow through as well? No, not quite. But Tarborg is off and away. Yep. Tarborg is off and away, and frankly, Tarborg has been... Oh! And off has gone! Vincent Khan! There he goes, he has spun it! Finally those tyres are giving way, and he has spun it on the fast section. As Nato comes through as well, who's going to pass him as well? Is Nels going to pass him? Nels going to pass him. Clear's going to pass him. He's back down to 8th position. That's disastrous there for Khan. He just needed to keep it on the track, but obviously those tyres will find it too much of a struggle through the fast sections. Perhaps the back end lost throughout there, and then put a wheel on the grass, and then it's gone. And VR is all over the back of Braham as Tarborg is making a run for it. And VR on the inside of the first corner, can't do it there.
Yuri Braham throw away the win, that's one thing for sure, as well as Vincent.
Absolutely, although he may not have been able to keep Tarborg behind him for the rest of the 2.5 laps, because Tarborg was all over him with 2 laps fresher tyres again as well, of course. But the top 4 contenders for the championship are in the top 4 positions, Bjorn. This is excellent stuff.
Quality racing, fights going on, quality.
Even throughout these changeable conditions, even throughout this has been... Sorry, these drivers have managed to pull themselves through that. This is why they are championship contenders, because they've managed to keep the head on their shoulders, make the right decisions at the right times.
But as it stays like this, Yuri Braham is going to be back in the championship contending. I mean, he's still there. 2nd place last race, 2nd place now, as long as he keeps it on track. Absolutely,
but he needs to stay in that 2nd place. If he drops to 3rd and drops more ground to VR, or even drops to 4th. 4th is a good result, but he'll drop ground to Tarborg, VR and Barrick if he finishes in 4th, so he needs to stay there. As we can see, in behind there, Vincent Khan, even though his tyres perhaps have gone, he is not giving way to Dan Asbury. As we can see, Eric Nelson has done a metronomic shoot up through the field from his qualifying position of 21st in the grid he was, Bjorn, up to 7th position. I think that makes him the driver of the race so far.
Great performance indeed. Great performance, but I wonder, his tires, they seem to be gone. He seems to be driving on the rim.
Well, he's staying ahead in 7th position, so he's done very well indeed, of course.
Yes.
If he can just stay in that top 8, he'll be delighted, because it means he can get a good result again in the second race, because that top 8 is also crucial.
Yeah.
And drivers are sideways through there, and VR, once more, is under pressure from Keith Barrick, and that's allowing Braham just a little bit of breathing space. Up front is Tarborg, keeping that 1.3 second lead. As they come now onto the final lap. I wonder what tyres Braham went onto. He must have gone onto slick tyres, because he's showing good pace here. VR is drafting alongside it. NATO sets the fastest lap as VR almost goes to the inside into turn 1 of Braham, goes wide up the inside, comes VR, they make contact, and Barrett makes contact with the back of VR as well, and VR is back down to 3rd. Where is Yuri Braham? Where is NATO? NATO is there. Through comes NATO, through goes Barrett into 2nd position, and Yuri Braham rejoins 5th. He's fighting off now the challenge of Matthias Clean. Up the inside goes Matthias Clean. Yuri Braham is down to 6th. So in 4th is Francisco VR. 3rd is Miguel Nato. 2nd, Keith Barrick. Jesper Tarborg there is cruising home to the win. He'll be laughing. But what happened there? Up the inside went VR on Yuri Braham into turn 2. There was contact made. Braham went off. VR went sideways, as he's doing right now again as well. He's still managed to hold on to 4th position. And Barrick touched the back of VR as a result of that contact with Braham. That's all played out well for Barrick indeed, as VR drops from 3rd to 4th. I wonder if team orders will come into play here. I wonder if NATO will hand the position back to VR in terms of in light of the championship positions. But Keith Barrick is going to come home in 2nd position after being in 4th and way down the way. Oh!
Oh, but look at the gap. 4.5 seconds behind Jesper. Jesper is showing a quality drive today.
He is. He's taking full advantage of that big incident there. And Braham is back into 5th, so he's got back past Matthias Klein. And Yuri Braham really now needs a win, I feel, in the second race for him to stand a good chance in the championship. Because he's going to lose ground to VR, to Barrick, to Tarborg. So there is Francisco VR, and Tarborg is going to win this race. An excellent drive there from him, once again keeping it clean, keeping his nose clean, making the right decisions at the right times, making the moves when he knew it would stick, getting to the small gap, and then just driving away once that incident happened. And Jesper Tarborg comes now across the line. He flashes his lights. Very pleased indeed with that. Jesper Tarborg takes the win. 2nd place is going to go to Keith Barrick. 3rd place, Miguel Nato. He's not going to hand the position to Francisco VR. There is VR in 4th. 5th position is going to be Yuri Braham, just from Matthias Klein. In 6th position is going to be Dan Asbury. 7th, Saul Boucher. 7th, Dan Asbury. 8th, Saul Boucher. 9th, Eric Nelson. Oh, poor Eric just drops out of the top 8 at the last second. Very unfortunate there. 10th is a 3rd DHR car there of Vincent Kahn. Come across the land now. 11th, Tyler Skurlock. Good recovery drive there for him again as well. 12th, Reggie Blaine. 13th, Diogo Lopez. 14th is Bogdan. 15th, Swiderski. 16th, Stefan Werner. 17th comes across the line, Emil Solberg. And his 17th... 17th is Emil Solberg. 18th, Robert Isles. In 19th is Hugo Gonçalves. 20th position should be Pedro Amaral. There he is, crossing the line. 21st is going to be Reese Gardner. 22nd is going to finish Daniel Wood. And coming across the line now in 23rd is going to be Paul Wood in a very battered indeed Terra Australis Racing Seat Toledo. So he's going to cross the line now in 23rd position. Still to come round is Ethan Bates in 24th. He's perhaps found the pace a little bit too hot here in server 1. Flies it around the final corners. And he's disappeared into the gravel as well. Oh dear. But all 24 drivers making it to the end. Glenn Peterson, of course, was a non-starter, but Jesper Torborg takes the win. Break after the drama of the final lap, I think it was. I can't remember. I was so excited at the time. Barrett takes second. Third place was Miguel Nato, coming back there from 5th. VR dropped to 4th. Braham dropped from 2nd to 5th, having had the lead of the race at one point. In 6th position just was Matthias Klein. 7th, Dan Asbury. Sol Boucher pipped Eric Nelson to the 8th position and pole position for the second race. Again, it's a standing start. So, I would expect to see VR and Asbury up front by the first corner. The race dried out in that. The weather dried out in that race.
Just look at the temperature. The air temperature is 25 degrees, track temperature 30 degrees. It looks to be all good for the second race.
Yeah, the second race should start dry as well. The second race, of course, is just in 5 minutes' time. But some good recoveries there from Eric Nelson in particular. Tyler Skurlock as well. He didn't even set a lap time. So he started 24th, he made up 13 positions. Eric Nelson started 21st and made up 12 positions. So unfortunate not to get that 8th position and get the pole for the second race. But as it is, it's Sol Boucher who does so. And we're just waiting for the second race to start.
I think it's also good for Keith Barrick to have a teammate up in front. With Sol, Sol can definitely help him out.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right there. So here we are now at the start of the race once again. Of course, this is a standing start. And the track is dry, I can report. So the grid lines up as follows. Well, Glenn Peterson has made it out for the second race, thankfully. But Sol Boucher will be on pole position with Dan Asbury alongside him. Matt is clean in the Honda. Yuri Braham also in the Honda. Francisco Villar's BMW. We've got Nato in the Volvo. Barrick in the Peugeot and Torborg in the Honda. So 2 Peugeots, 2 BMWs, 3 Hondas and a Volvo in the top 8 positions on the grid. How do you see this one going, Bjorn?
I think the same as race 1. Lots of fight. We're going to see Keith and Jesper looking for each other again. The 2 Portuguese drivers will be there up in front. I hope Yuri Braham can recover from a bad first race and just nail this one, either first or second place. We also see Dan Asbury, who has been good the last couple of races on the first row, so anything can happen.
That's correct, and we'll go on board with Keith Barrick off the start grid. See what kind of starts people get, and the revs are rising. And we are away, and Barrick almost jumped the start there. A great start there from Francisco Villa as he shoots through the field, up into third position already. But a good start there from Saul Boucher. He managed to fend off the two BMWs, it seems. As they head now towards the first corner. Around the outside is going to go. Via on Dan Asbury. What a great move there. Around the outside he goes. Dan Asbury back down to fourth position because Clean's going to go around the outside of him as well. And God, Clean's attack for somebody maybe, or maybe it's gone on the grass. I'm not quite sure.
A big crash in the back.
There is a big crash at the back. Who is that? That's involved. That looks like Swiderski's involved there. One of the TrackDevil.com racing cars. Anyway, sideways has gone Yuri Braham. Perhaps they're going to touch there from Miguel Nato. He manages to hold it, but he's going to drop back through the field. But Boucher is leading from VR. Danasbury is in third. Miguel Nato. And look at this gaggle of cars heading down to what, and they're chopping each other off. Mattis Clean coming, trying to defend there from Diogo Lopez. There's Jesper Tarbach in the middle of it all. And Keith Barrick and Yuri Braham. Look at this, 3 wide coming out. Who's going to get through? Reggie Blaine's going to get through there. Jesper Tarbach's up to 6th. Yuri Braham's in 7th. 8th is Diogo Lopez. 9th is Keith Barrick. 10th is his teammate Vincent Kahn. So Tarbach has made the break from Barrick off the start grid, and Barrick comes up the inside of Diogo Lopez as Yuri Braham goes around the outside of Tarbach. And sideways gets Tarbach after a hit from Diogo Lopez, and up the inside goes Barrick and Kahn. He lost 2 positions there. So first, he lost 3 positions in just 2 corners as Yuri Braham went around the outside of him, and then Diogo Lopez touched the back of him. He got sideways. So now Barrick has the advantage in that particular battle. As up front, it's still Saul Boucher as this field of cars comes flying through.
They race like it's a 1-lap race. I mean, they race like everything depends on the first lap.
Of course, it is getting towards the back end of the season, so of course every second is crucial. No, every bit is crucial, and they're going to be hammer and tong. I can't say I blame them really. And now Tarbach is monster in the back of Vincent Kahn. Can he get through on the fast sweep? He's going to go side by side to the fastest part of the course. Nelson is alongside. Well, and Tarbach goes around the outside. What a great move! That was a fantastic move there, Bjorn.
Really, really dangerous move.
He takes two people. No, he doesn't. He gets pushed out wide. Oh, the big contact. And he spins in front of the pack, and all going to hit him. Oh, that's unfortunate there. Daniel Wood hits him. And there is Tarbach off at the side of the track. He tried to go up the inside of two drivers. Perhaps a little bit ambitious. Got tapped by a couple more drivers and then span in front of the pack. But as they cross the line, VR is taking the lead. VR is taking the lead from Saul Boucher. There he is. So VR again is out front in race 2. In third position is Dan Asbury, but Saul Boucher will not be happy with that. He wants to help his teammate Keith Barrick get back towards the front of this field. He wants to win the race himself, of course. Now, as we see, Dan Asbury is being hotly pursued by Miguel Nato. In 5th position is Yuri Braham. He's under big attack here from Yuri. In 5th position, Reggie Blaine, sorry. He's under big attack from Yuri Braham. 7th is Keith Barrick. 8th is Jesper Tarbach. So Jesper is back up with his main rival for the championship. VR is out front, and these drivers, as Braham monsters the curbs there.
It's important for them to just get past Reggie, because what we see now is definitely usually called in Formula 1 the Truly train, but here it's going to be the Reggie train.
That's true. It's usually called the Callan train in on race department. As Tarbach and Yuri Braham have both passed. Calm myself down. Tarbach and Keith Barrick have both passed Yuri Braham out of that hairpin. So these 3 are losing big ground, however, to Francisco VR, who's leading the race so far. Even if they get past Reggie Blaine, they've still got another 2.5 seconds to make up on Dan Asbury and Miguel Nato. An incident-packed race so far, but it seems everyone's got through fairly unscathed. It seems everybody's kind of in positions that they were. There's been no disastrous incidents, apart from Emil Sarborg, of course. But in the top runners, there's been no disastrous crashes. As Nato has got past Dan Asbury.
Yeah, and Yuri Braham dropped back to 8th place.
He has, yeah. Barrick and Tarbach got past him out of the hairpin there. as he tried to make a move on Reggie. And Braham has lost quite a bit of ground as well.
Yeah, indeed, that's why.
But NATO's got past Dan Asbury. I think Dan made a small mistake around the second technical section of the track. We're on to lap 2, coming on to lap 3 very shortly.
Strong performance today by the Portuguese drivers. I think I'm going to buy myself a Portuguese coloured car. Maybe it helps my sim racing career.
Into the pits comes Bogdan, and it looks like Skolikow and Reggie squeezing to the outside there of Keith Barrick. And up the inside is looking Tarborg. He's not going to make a move there though. But Blaine is obviously holding these guys up. These guys really want past. They need to get past. This is championship territory right here. Weather seems to be dry for the moment as well, Bjorn. So everyone out there will be on slicks as Reggie drives down the inside of the track trying to fend off the Peugeot of Keith Barrick. He slides back over, around the outside. He's going to go Keith Barrick on Reggie Blaine. Great move there. Tarborg tries to take advantage. Can he do so? It looks like he can. He's going to go side by side through the flat out sweepers down towards the back end of the circuit in the next technical section, and Tarborg has got ahead. Tarborg has got ahead, and that was important. Now Yuri Braham needs to get ahead as quickly as possible as well. But Keith and Jesper have gone through. Jesper again, always the opportunist, Bjorn.
He always tries it, but he always tries it on a fair way. He doesn't want contact. He just wants to be clean and just professional.
Absolutely, and if an opening comes, he's always there. It's a nice habit to have, of course. As up the inside, he's going very hard on Reggie Blaine, but he didn't make it stick. It's very hard to make it stick into that corner, to be fair, unless you're fully alongside. But up front, VR now has a 2-second lead on Saul Boucher. Look at this. He's driving away from the Peugeot driver. His drag conditions really suiting the BMW so far. Miguel Nato there is in 3rd position. Dan Asbury is in a strong 4th. Shivering the Volvo driver, but catching up rapidly is the Peugeot of Keith Barrick and the Honda of Jesper Tarborg, as Yuri Braham again is having a look at the back of Blaine. In behind there is Eric Nelson. In behind them again is Diogo Lopez, I believe. Running through the field, 11th place is Darius Widerski, 12th is Hugo Gonçalves, 13th Daniel Wood, 14th Vincent Kahn, 15th Matthias Klein, 16th is Robert Isles. Any different runners coming to the pits? No, they didn't. Darius Widerski came into the pits though, I think, in the background there. Well, that may have been Reece Gardner, of course. There is the rest of the field. Karen Madara made a... Oh, what's happened here? There's been an off by somebody. Who's gone off there? That's Miguel Nato. Nato's had a big off. Oh! And Yuri Braham touches the side of Nato, coming down towards turn 3. Up the inside, going to go clear as well, but Nato managed to hold it sideways off the outside. Oh no, it's Saul Boucher's engine has blown. What's gone on there? I thought I saw lots of smoke. What's happened? Saul Boucher's engine is dead. He's had a huge accident.
Yeah, maybe he crashed it, over-reffed it.
He must have crashed it, because I've never heard of a touring car engine blow through over-revving, but Nato is back in the pack as well. What happened there? Very unusual. Perhaps Boucher had a big crash and Nato had to avoid him.
It's a big yeah. I think you're definitely right, because thinking about driving a touring car, it's really hard to blow the engine on over-reffing. It must be a crash or something like that.
Unless he's stuck in first gear by accident, but I doubt it very much, as we can see. Here is the battle again between Tarborg and Barrick. They're of course locked together as per usual. Saul Boucher is out of this race. That's the DHR Simcraft retirement for the first time this season. Dan Asbury still is in 2nd position now, of course. They've all moved up, and Francisco Villa has a huge lead. Look at this, Bjorn. 8.8 seconds.
Yeah, if he doesn't make a mistake, he can just drive it home and have a cup of coffee while he's driving.
Absolutely. Looking like a good result is going to be here from Francesco VR. And of course, Braham's got past Reggie Blaine. He came to blows with Miguel Nato in the next. As Nato was recovering, neither driver was giving way, and a little bit of contact there.
Oh,
here we are with this battle here again,
yeah.
and it is the Blaine train.
Yeah. You probably have to buy an expensive ticket to sit on the Blaine train.
Absolutely.
Front row tickets.
Around the outside is coming Eric Nelson, and Reggie has not got the pace, but he's had a good start. So, and Nelson gives the back of Reggie a little tap as they head up the hill, and everybody just carries on. Oh, and Reggie's dropped 5 positions there. Of course, that was the big train that he was holding up. Is he going to pit? Yes, he is. Into the pits also comes Nato. So, Nato's pitting. And also in the background there we can see is Robert Isles pitting, I believe that is. As we watch Daniel Wood come through. He's in behind Diogo Lopez and Hugo Gonçalves. You can see the 2 art cars there of the Seat Leons. Rick Nelson's now in 6th position, of course. But the big news is that Saul Boucher has retired. And Tarborg is pushing Barrick ever closer to Asbury. Tarborg isn't really challenging Barrick. Oh, it's begun raining. Excuse me. It's begun raining, Bjorn. Look at this. The rain has begun falling. And will it come in such a big torrent like it did during qualifying?
What's going to happen now? Some drivers made their pit stop already, and they are absolutely furious right now. I mean, if you just make a pit stop, you need to get back. I mean, if you didn't make your pit stop, get in now, take some wet tires, because otherwise you won't be...
The rain is pouring down, Bjorn. The rain is pouring down, so those who've made their pit stops are cooked.
Make a pit stop now. You need it, you need it.
Absolutely. The heavens have opened once again. When it rains, it really rains here at Rattlesnake Point. The mountains around that region making sure. VR now comes toward the end of the lap, and it's gone very, very dark indeed. This seems to be the time to pit. Of course, if the rain stops though, Bjorn, you can get away with it.
Then again, if the rain stops, you only have to do 4 or 5 laps on those wet tires. And I think with the amount of water on the track, it can be done with a bit of tire management, though.
I think so too, as Tarborg right in behind Barrick, and of course, in these slick conditions, if you've got slick tyres on, you don't want to be in the BMW because it's difficult to control in dry conditions, never mind in wet. Look at the rain, it is pouring down, Bjorn.
Yeah.
If the heavens have opened.
If I wouldn't be on on slicks now. If I were on slicks, I would be very, 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 very fighting with the car in these conditions.
Absolutely. Is VR going to pit? He is going to pit. The wise choice. Is Asbury going to pit? Is Barrett going to pit? Is Tarborg going to pit? Are they going to chance it? Are they going to chance that the rain's going to stop? It's very, very dark indeed. Of course, even if it stops raining, it's going to take a while for this track to dry out. They're all going to pit. Everyone is pouring in. Braham's in as well. Nelson's coming in. Gonçalves coming in. Lopez coming in. It is like rush hour in the pit stop area, and everybody is coming in. Look
at the pit lane. I mean, is this the Indianapolis 500 during a yellow caution? Or?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And as we can see, here is Daniel Wood. Sorry, Paul Wood. He's struggling ever so slightly in these wet conditions, of course. Here is Swiderski. There is, on off the track, it's going one of the Hondas. Sorry, it's a Toledo of Tyler Skurlock for Synaptic Racing. Everybody's in the pits, but the front runners have all pitted at the same time. Should have all made the right decisions. Let's hope they've all put the right tyres on, of course. And VR is out on track straight away. He's got a big lead on Dan Asbury. And here comes the field, and Nato, of course, has already pitted, but he's on slicks. Surely he's on slicks. He goes around the outside of Jesper Tarborg, but Nato will surely have to pit. because he pitted when it was dry, and he would have put slicks on surely. As they fly up now towards the stadium section, and Tarbog has got ahead of Barrick out of those pit stops, and Braham is right in behind these two. Swiderski's in 7th place. 8th is Reggie Blaine. I don't think Swiderski pitted. Had Swiderski pitted, Bjorn? Was that him pitting earlier?
No. I think he still has to make a pit stop, but you never know in this race. But I think he made his pit stop. I think he still has just fighting with the pack. Yeah.
I think he did. Yes, because he's struggling. Look at that. He's struggling. Right back he goes.
Yeah.
I think he's on slicks. He's one of the early pitters. And Nato was an early pitter as well. But surely he didn't put wets on chancing it. He must be on slicks. And if so, Tarbog will be passed very shortly indeed. But Nato is making sure that he can't get past. Meanwhile, Dan Asprey has a 2-second lead in this gap. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Look, I was just telling. Look at Dan Asprey. He's there again. Does he gonna get his second podium of this year's campaign?
Absolutely, of course. He finished in 2nd place in the first race. He's had 2 podiums this season so far, I believe.
2 already. Okay.
I think so. Yes.
I have to do my homework better.
I think so. Let's. Table says he does. Said he did anyway. Yeah. Yeah. He had a 2nd place in the first race at Sebring, and of course he had a 3rd place at Watkins Glen in the 2nd race. But look at that rain there, Bjorn. And Yuri Braham is all over the back of Keith Barrick. And Nato is still staying ahead of these guys. Surely he isn't on wet tyres. Why would he change to wet tyres when he pitted when it was dry? That's very strange indeed.
I don't know if he's on slicks. I mean, if he's on slicks, he would be sliding with the car, and I mean he is in control of the car. You know, if you know what I mean. The pace isn't there, but he is in control of the car. So maybe he's just helping out Francisco. Maybe team orders, teamwork.
Perhaps that's the key. Well, we can see though with Swiderski, who's definitely on the slick tyres, he's dropping way back through the field. Look, he was up near Reggie Blaine, but now he's way back on the field and letting people through hand over fist. Look at that, back into 12th position he's gone. So again, a wet race has caused some bad luck for Darius Swiderski. And these 4 cars, look at that. Volvo, Honda, Peugeot, Honda. And this of course is crucial for the championship. Francisco Villar is out front. Looks like he's going to take his 5th win of the season. Which, considering we were only on race 12, 5 wins out of 12 races is a fantastic return there, isn't it, Bjorn?
It's championship material written all over it. I mean, if you can hit 5 wins in those amount of races, and you are leading the championship, you look good for the overall championship the end of the year.
Absolutely. Of course, if it comes down to tied results, Bjorn, it looks like that VR already has enough wins over the rest of the field. If it comes down to tied results, then he will win the championship on the number of wins.
Yeah, you know what is also the good point for Francisco Villa is, I mean, he doesn't have one direct opponent. I mean, he's got Keith Barrick snatching points from Tolberg snatching points from Barrick snatching points from Braben. So they basically steal each other's points so that Francisco can basically just walk away with a big smile.
Absolutely, he's cleaning up here. But Dan Asprey is under big pressure now from Miguel Nato. Nato must have changed to wet tyres, although why he would have done so, I'm not quite sure. Perhaps it just started drizzling just as he was pulling into the pits, and he made a quick decision to change to wet tyres. But either way, it was an inspired decision. Think on his feet, perhaps. Perhaps he's got some more inside information that told him it was going to rain. But whatever, he is reaping the rewards. And Dan Asprey is holding 2nd place from this gaggle of cars. Yuri Braham has dropped off the back of these cars just a little bit. Perhaps made a slight mistake somewhere. But Reggie Blaine is now back onto this train of cars. So Blaine is at the back of the train this time.
It's just the Blaine train. I think we're gonna call this race the Blaine train. we're gonna write a song about it. It's the Blaine train.
Let's not sing, Bjorn. That's not a good look. As Dan Asbury is under intense pressure now from NATO, who's under intense pressure, of course, from Torborg. NATO nicks the win from Torborg at Watkins Glen. If viewers remember correctly, with an excellent move on the final lap. And up the inside coming NATO on Asbury. He's going to make the move stick. Asbury is struggling on the brakes, it seems. And Torborg's going to try and get his power down as well, as he gets balked a little bit by the Volvo of NATO on the exit. Is Torborg going to get past? Is he going to do another opportunist move? As Barrick is trying to follow through as well. This is going to be very tight indeed as they head down towards the fountain. Around the outside is going to go. Torborg and Barrick hits the back of Swiderski, and Braham's in there as well. Look at this. Braham's going to go around the outside. No, he's not. He's going to pull out of it. But Barrick has been held up behind Asbury while Torborg has scarpered. So this is crucial. Barrick has to get past. He just has to get past the BMW driver. And of course he's got Yuri Braham right up behind him. Look at that. As we look back now from Dan Asbury, looking back at the Peugeot of Keith Barrick. He's in behind. And now Yuri Braham's in behind him as well. Can Barrick get past, or can Dan Asbury hold on to his fourth position? The strong result for him. Yuri hit the side.
Almost.
He hit the back of Keith Barrick and got sideways himself, so he lost out there. Now they flow through these fast sections. Oh, he's got out of shape.
Yeah.
Asbury's got out of shape, and Barrick has gone straight through. Thank you very much. And he takes the place, and of course Braham hadn't made that mistake just a couple of corners ago. He would have been able to take advantage as well.
There he comes.
The brakes are really just not happening for Yuri in this race.
Now it's one of those races that it just doesn't work, and after this race I think he's going to tell us forget about it, let's go over the next race. Bang.
And NATO is under pressure once more from Torborg, while VR has a huge lead at the front of the field. He must be laughing, and up the inside is going to go Torborg on NATO. He takes the position. Does he? No, he doesn't. NATO goes around the outside. Excellent defending there. Oh, but Braham has got past Dan Asbury, so Dan Asbury must have made a mistake or was slow into turn 1 or turn 2. But Braham is past. So the top 5 in the championship are the top 5 in the race. And despite NATO's off earlier, when I think perhaps he was avoiding Boucher's crashed car, has not come back to haunt him too much, because he's in second position, which is a great result. It's a Portugal Racing Team 1-2 at the moment.
And look at position number 7, Robert Isles, the Australian driver. Great performance.
Absolutely, and he's in a battle with Hugo Gonçalves in the Seat Leon. Robert Isles also in the Seat Leon. There he is in the Terra Australis racing car. Let's look back further through the field. Matty Clean in 9th position, but it seems that Eric Nelson has dropped back way down the field. He's in 20th position. Eric Nelson's back in 20th place, Bjorn. After he's gone from one end of the grid up to the front and then back down again in the space of 2 races.
Eventful race from Mr. Eric.
And Reggie Blaine is out. Hadn't noticed it, but Reggie Blaine is out. Look at that suspension failure. Vincent Carner has not finished either. So Reggie Blaine was right up behind the Braham, Asbury, Barrick and NATO battle, but he must have crashed somewhere because he is out of the race. Vincent Carner has also retired. Of course, earlier in the race, Saul Boucher retired. So I don't know what happened to Vincent Carner, but Vincent Carner will not. This really does put absolute paid to his championship hopes. He will not be retaining the title this season. That is for
No, he
certain.
won't. He won't. He won't. That's It's from this race on. It's over.
Absolutely, and Tarbog is again pressuring NATO. If Tarbog can just put one more car in between him and Barrick, it will help his championship results no end, of course. Tarbog, our race 1 winner, is going for a second place in the second race. He already took points out of Barrick and VR in the first race. He'll hope to do the same again. Side by side into turn 1, it's very close indeed. Oh, they touch, and NATO runs slightly wide, but they managed to get it back again.
He needs that second place, Jesper. He really needs. He needs the points.
Absolutely, he needs to minimise the damage to Francisco VR. He will still gain points overall if he stays in that position in the event, because VR will have a first and a fourth, and Tarbog a first and a third. But of course, the more points he can get, the better. This is going to tighten the championship up even more, Bjorn. This is exciting stuff. NATO's out of shape. NATO's out of shape. He's gone deep. Oh, Tarbog didn't find any gap there.
Oh.
And Braham's back up on this bunch. Braham is never say die. It doesn't look like he's got quite the burning pace of these three. And Tarbog went one side and the other side. What a great move! What a great move there from Tarbog. He went one side and the other. Sold him a dummy. That was a fantastic move there, Bjorn. Great stuff.
Yeah, professional driving from Jesper. What a great talent he is.
Absolutely. This is the final lap as well, and that was very important, as Francisco VR is into the final sector of the final lap. He's going to take the win, but Tarbog is now in second position to take a first and a second from this race. Tarbog really has been the form driver, I feel, since KW Super Speedway, even since Nürburgring. No, he got a 13th at Nürburgring, but that was unfortunate. That was his own strategy. But he has been the form driver ever since Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Of course, at Sebring he was hampered by the slow speed of the Honda Accord on the straights, and VR obviously cleaned up there. Plenty of good results. But Tarbog, I feel, has been the best driver this season. He was lackluster at Road America, but for the rest of the races he has been the fastest overall.
He is. Disconnection, I think, at Watkins Glen which was really disastrous for him.
Absolutely. He's on for a strong result there again as well. Oh! And Barrick tried to go around the outside of NATO, but look who's nipped through. It's Yuri Braham. He's going to nip,
but he goes off
nip
again.
through.
Yuri goes off. Oh no.
Oh no, he's not going to. But
Wait.
Francisco Villa has taken the win. Second place Tarbog. Third place NATO. Fourth place Barrick. Fifth place Yuri Braham. Just fought off the fight there from Keith Barrick. Sixth place Anna Brigg. Another good result for him. Seventh Robert Isles. Eighth just Isidro Gonçalves. In ninth position coming across the line now with Daniel Wood. 10th is going to be Matthias Klein in his Honda Accord. Flashes his lights. Another top 10 for him. 11th place Reese Garner. Better second race there for him. In 12th position is going to come Ethan Bass. Well, an excellent result for him in his second race in Server 1. He comes across the line in 12th. We've seen him struggling, but he has got an excellent result in this second race. 13th place to come across the line is going to be Daniel Wood. Sorry, Bjorn.
Well done, Ethan. I mean, 12th place in just his second ATCC race in Server 1. In this weather conditions, in this grid, all I can say, strong performance from Ethan and deserved.
Absolutely. Diogo Lopez finished back in 18th. And Bogdan finished in 14th, despite the fact I think he had to make an extra pit stop because he pitted early. But we shall see. 19th position across line comes Darius Federski. Of course, he had to struggle right to the end of the race on slick tyres, the poor guy. 20th position coming across the line now is going to be, I think that's Stefan Werner. Yes, it is. In 21st now is Glenn Peterson. Glenn Peterson going to take 21st position. '22nd is going to be Eric Nelson. So he's gone from one end to the other, back to the other end again in this race. As he crosses the line. Does he cross the line? Who's he waiting for?
I think he's really. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe a burnout on the finish line.
Not quite sure.
Yeah.
But an excellent win there from Francisco Villar, taking more points and probably extending his championship lead over Keith Berwick. Of course, Talborg will be eating into that lead as well with his first and second place in these races.
Yeah, great overall racing from Team Portugal was really on it today, and a great result from all the Portuguese drivers in this race.
Indeed it was, and we are now joined by race 2 winner Francisco Villar. Very well done to you, Francisco. First of all, though, let's talk about what happened in the first race. Coming towards the end of the race, you were challenging, of course, Yuri Braham, and then got a tap there from Keith Berwick.
Hey.
What was your viewpoint on that one?
Hey Ryan, I think Keith Berwick had nothing to do with it. He couldn't go anywhere.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I saw Yuri doing a mistake exiting turn 1, and so I decided that I would go side by side to turn 2. But then I had nowhere to go as he closed the door. So I'm sorry for him and for me as well. But there was nothing I could do. I think I don't know from the viewer's point of view, but from my side of view, I think I couldn't do anything. Relatively to the rest of the race, in the beginning I was really being under pressure from Keith and Talborg, so I decided to pit, and then it was just controlling. I thought it would be just controlling to the end, but I saw Vincent Kahn on the lead, and then Talborg in front of me as well. So I thought third place would be good, but then it happened with Yuri, and so fourth was not bad at all.
Yep, you managed to keep that fourth position in place. An excellent run in the second race there. You got a great start off the line. Of course, you just seemed to drive away as incidents seemed to happen behind you. I mean, what was your viewpoint on that one? You seemed to just, once again, as we've seen in several races this season, just take advantage of anything and just drag away into the lead and take the win.
Yes. Actually, I thought that I would be challenged by Dan Asbury on the start, but actually it was Saul Boscher that started better. So I was able to pass him. I don't know if it was in the first or second lap. I don't know. And then I just, as you say, I took advantage of the others fighting each other, and I just did my own race at my pace, and it was enough to win.
Of course, all the front runners, of course, pitted at the same time as well.
Yes. The track, I don't know if it was still dry enough to keep on the slicks, but as I had built a very good lead, I thought that I shouldn't risk anything, and so I decided to change on lap 5 to 4 wet tires.
Yeah, but when the rain came, it really did come down.
But I didn't think it was very, very heavy rain. It was okay.
It wasn't too bad. I'm glad to hear. We're also joined by Miguel Neto, who's Francisco Villar's compatriot and teammate. How did those two events go for you, Neto?
Hi all. Two good results. More good results than races. In first race, I start fifth, and follow Keith, Villar, and Berwick. In the beginning, the pace was strong than mine. After the stop, until the stop, I gather a little bit of gap of him, and I commit 2 mistakes after my pit stop. I went off the track 2 times, and I lose too much time. So good result, good third place in the first race.
In the second race, we saw that you'd gone off early on, around about the same time that Saul Boucher had retired. Were you avoiding his car, or what happened to him? Because he retired obviously with engine failure. What happened there?
Yeah, an engine failure of car of the Soul, and one thing happened in this type of game that this is the first time in the straight got a little bit smoke from the car of Cell, and I grabbed the track. I don't saw the track, and I in the turn 2 I exit off the track. You lose a little bit of time.
Yeah, we managed to recover it a little bit, but of course got stuck back in the pack. We're also joined by Mr. Keith Barrick.
Yes.
How did those two races go for you? Did you enjoy those races?
Well, I mean, yeah, always enjoyable racing in good company. I'm a little disappointed in my own performance. I mean, driving off from the lead in the first race, which is, it's just at this level of racing, it just shouldn't happen. I think I was a little too focused on the telemetry, trying to read the weather at the same time as trying to drive, that I just got myself distracted and missed a break point and put myself into the dirt. I think also, in race 1, getting back to 4th, and then I would say I was fortunate that Francisco and Yuri did get together. Unfortunately, I tagged Francisco's bumper, which I'm really sorry about, but I didn't have anywhere to go. That did gift me the second place. That. It is a position for me, but you don't really want to get them like that. But race 1, I think would have went a lot different if I just kept my head more focused on my driving rather than looking at the weather. And I think I might have been able to pull off the win, which is much needed points at this point because it's so tight between Francisco, myself, and Jesper. Race 1 just a little disappointing.
Absolutely, because you've not won since the first race of the season, and since then, Talborg and Via have racked up the wins.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and in race 2, I kind of expected Francisco to get off the line. He's really good with getting off the line in the BMW, and I expected him to be up front quick. I was hoping to do the same thing, get a decent start, but because of the gearing for this track, I really had to work the clutch, and I guess my foot slipped or something, or mind lapse, and didn't get off the line like I wanted to in race 2. So it was a complete struggle going through the first couple of laps because it was just non-stop battling. And with cars all around, you're trying to be clean. You don't want to punt anyone off, and everyone's got different break points. It was really tough. But race 2 was definitely more. There was more action going on. I think I was kind of doing I was kind of reading your mind with the weather, and I said to myself, the lap just when it said it was going to start raining, I'm thinking to myself, I really should pit this lap. And that was the lap Miguel pitted, and he definitely took advantage of that because he came out on wets while we had to do a complete lap around this, 4.6 kilometers or something?
Yeah.
On slicks, and the whole leaders, and as we're coming out of the pits, well, Francisco was gone. That was beyond the story. We were racing for second. We come out of the pits in a pack, and you got Miguel went by us, and who else was there? Danny was there as well. So I mean, it was a really tough race to make the decisions and make the calls because you don't want to do the wrong thing, and a lot of people did. You can hear them venting frustration in TeamSpeak. But in race 2, I know you're an evil weatherman. But coming away with a second and a fourth is I'm happy with. Obviously, it's 2 top 5 finishes, but I really had my sights set on getting beyond Miguel and Jesper. That was what I really wanted to do. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen because 2 seconds would have been better, and I think I might have been a little closer to Francisco, but got to look forward. So,
yeah, well, it's getting to that stage of the season where top 5s are turning out not to be good enough, really. So, thank you very much to you three for entertaining us and also joining us here in the commentary booth. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time at Laguna Seca.
Well, fantastic. Thanks, guys. Bjorn, Ryan, as always, you do a great job, and
my pleasure.
See you then.
Thanks, Ryan and Bjorn.
No problem, guys. Thank you for racing, man.
Congratulations,
thank you,
all.
Thank you very much, guys.
So Bjorn, at the end of a hectic second half of the first race and a hectic second race all the way through, how would you sum up that event?
Closely packed action. Of course, due to the weather and the nature of the track, we saw some great fights, entertaining fights, some scary movies, scary moves. I'm getting really tired now. Thank you very much. Also, we saw that collision in the warm-up lap in the first race. Still don't know what happened there.
No, we didn't find out what happened. I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, indeed.
Well,
I also want to thank all the viewers who were there on the race department chat. Thanks for staying up late. You really make the show with us, and we can't do it without you guys on the forum. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. If nobody watches, there's no point us doing it. So, thank you very much to you, Bjorn, for joining me once again.
Oh, my pleasure, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you to the racers, and of course, thank you to the viewers for joining us. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time, at the same time. This time we're at Laguna Seca, so a much different proposition to the track just held here, of course, Bjorn. Much tighter, much twistier.
Yes, it is. It is. Great track. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be co-commentating on Laguna Seca. Although I wish all the drivers the best of luck there racing, and of course Laguna Seca. It's going to be in the Nations Grand Prix. By the way, Sunday. This Sunday. Laguna Seca. Lots of corners, small, tight, and of course the famous corkscrew corner.
And of course, the race department has a few races coming up on live broadcast, doesn't it, Bjorn? It has the Camaro Cup. That's tomorrow.
No, it's
tomorrow,
the
right?
Camaro Cup is, if I'm correct,
2 weeks
next
time,
week.
right?
Yeah.
Next Saturday, sorry. So it's a week on Saturday. That's coming from Bairubi Southern Cross. So that should be entertaining indeed, because that's a very good track. Do enjoy driving that one. And then in 12 days' time, in a week on Wednesday, we have the World Touring Masters. This time we'll be live from Vitus Park for 2 sprint events. So we'll see if Gregory de Grief and Peter Duivelar lock horns once again. So, as we say, 2 weeks' time, ATCC Season 3 will continue at its penultimate event, races 13 and 14. And we'll see you there then. Thank you to Bjorn. Thank you to the viewers.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much, everybody.